Ladies and gentlemen, Friday night, you know what the fuck that means. Behind the bar with Bill C. right there, and me, Nicholas Rouse, or Young Buck, whatever you want to call me.
Put the fucking camera on that.
I just want to remind everybody one more time. That the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. You're welcome. Anyway, good show again tonight, as always. Oh, yeah, sorry. We're talking to Dr. Bill Fritz. If you don't know who that is, you suck. You always have.
And you always will.
That's what I thought. We're gonna interview him. We're gonna have an awesome trivia question. We're gonna have a fucking awesome time reviewing the meet schedule with some awesome slides. And yeah, we're just gonna have a great time. So Aaron, hit that fucking intro, will you?
Let's get the show started. Glass of Crown Royal.
And we're back. Like I was saying, hope you enjoyed that intro, because I always fucking do. But hey, man, Friday night.
As I emerge from the shadows.
Friday night, we had an awesome bench workout. Fucking Bill C. back in the 400 pounds.
Damn.
The old man, don't count him out. Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years.
I've been there the whole.
He never left. But like, without further ado, we got Dr. Bill Fritz on the line. Bring him on, Aaron.
Playing with heavyweights.
Let's go, Dr. Fritz.
Aaron,
there he is.
Let me tune my. If we get Fritzy on, I gotta tune it up with some.
Dr. Bill Fritz, welcome. Welcome to the show,
ladies and gentlemen. Just what camera are we on here?
We're on Billy.
On Bill.
We're on
Fritz.
Billy. Damn. Yes. All right.
Dr. Fritz, can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Do you enjoy the sound of my voice?
Yep.
Good. I enjoy it. Just show the people the shirt you're wearing real quick, so switch it back. OG Metal Militia New York t-shirt. Damn. Thick.
It's a white one, too. It ain't even silver.
Yeah, that's OG,
that's
dude.
really old.
That's like 2017 when you first met him or whatever year it was.
That was,
hey,
that's
man,
a long time
have
ago,
this shirt.
Man. That's an old shirt, dude.
That's awesome.
Sure.
But yeah, Dr. Bill Fritz, welcome to the show. We've had John before. We've had Jan in person before.
The twisted.
Damn!
My man, crack it open. We're doing a cheers right now.
Oh, he's got something for us.
You know, I always thought that.
And Tito's.
I always thought that doctors were sophisticated, and the one doctor we have in our club's a fucking bum drinking twisted teas.
And Tito's.
Well, the Tito's is a gentleman's drink.
He's mixing them both.
There we go.
You know
See, the way that it is, Billy is a step. He's young though. He's not even old.
How old are you? Like 33?
32.
Even better.
He only a little older than you.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. He 5-6 years older than you and put little Tito's in his drink. You still drinking that pig swine crap sugar.
Pig swine. That's awesome.
It's fucking disgusting. Ugh.
All right.
You drink that shit on its own, drive 3 or 4 of them in your gut, you got sugar diabetes.
Hey, so you remember when we had the show where we talked to all the ladies in the Metal Militia? So Ralph Talati,
Holy shit, dude,
he's with what's her name, Natanya, I think.
That's a Paul pour right there.
He said last night he went to Bill Fritz and learned more in that bench session than he did the whole time he's been training. So you're legit as fuck, Bill Fritz.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we had some guests last night. It was a good time.
Ralph Talati, and I think his wife's name is Natanya, right? Or fiance, right? Or I don't know.
Is this the guy right here that said, Bill, I told
Yeah.
you where... Oh, yeah. I told him that. I like, fucking go see Fritzy. Man.
Yeah,
What's
literally
wrong
on
with
that
you?
show, Fritz, they were like, we live 20 minutes from Bill Fritz. We're like, well, you should go train with him right away, right now.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah. So
And I got to be honest with you. I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's just start with Billy's pedigree. One, he's a collegiate athlete. Two, he's a fucking genetic freak. Three, well, he's a doctor. Fucking, he's forgotten more about most shit than fucking people will ever know. So, I'm not gonna go work out with that guy. I'm gonna fucking hang out.
he's got a
come on,
PhD, a pretty huge degree.
pretty huge degree in kicking ass and taking names. Kicking ass and taking names.
So, Dr. Fritz. So obviously, your mentor.
Should I just call you Doctor?
Yes. Where you started, where you got your start in powerlifting, where you learned the whole multiply thing. Franz Adler, Meta Militia Hall of Fame. Inaugural class. You were there to accept it for him.
Before Billy even says
ahead.
anything, listen, man, Franz Adler is a bad dude. I mean, just so cool. As I got a little bit older, I got to hear more and more stories about the guy. And Billy told me a bunch. People don't realize back in the day that guy pretty much like ran Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the guy was like, was he 6'9"? He's like 350, 360 pounds.
6'9", 6'10".
I'm dead serious. Ask Bill
I remember
how fucking big he is.
When we talked to him, he said
when he
that.
was a fucking young cat. I only knew him when he got older. When he was a young cat, he was, man, dude. You see the pictures those pictures that he sent me, I showed you when he was young? Bro.
Jacked.
Fucking
Long
dude was
hair,
stacked and
tattoos. Wouldn't have messed with that guy.
Kind of dude to bury motherfuckers out in the desert. That's that kind of guy right there.
So you start out with Franz. He teaches you everything you know. Probably not everything he knows. Just going to put it out there. But you take that knowledge, you bring it, and you're in the Atlantic City chapter before you moved. You bring that knowledge.
Hang on, you're going way too fast. Let him.
I'm just giving a rough overview.
Yeah, the overview is good, but he worked out. He worked out down at Franz's place forever.
Yeah.
And actually, how I met Bill was through Franz, and Franz called me up and said, "Hey, man, this kid is something real special." Once in a lifetime kid. I'm dead serious. I don't know if Billy, did I ever tell you how he told you the story or how he told me about you? When we first brought the Atlantic City in, Franz called me up and he said, "This is my greatest student. This kid is better than anything. He's going to be something super special, something that you see once in a lifetime." He said that about you.
I'm not surprised. Bill Fritz is the man, dude.
I know, but but it's. I'm sure it's nice for Bill to hear how Franz was talking about him when not behind. How do you say it's not behind his back? It's about him,
hyping him up.
Yeah, it wasn't even a hype up. He just said this kid's going to be something so special, something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. So immediately, Bill was like fucking platinum. He came in and was like fucking boom, and we hit it off right away real quick.
Yeah.
And it was cool. So
yeah, just real quick, and then we'll go into some training stuff. Just training with Franz. I've talked to you a little bit about it before, how the workouts were. He showed you, what right looked like. He even, kind of showed you some humility. I heard the one story about turning the radio off, walking his wife in the rain. But just a little bit, what was it like training with Franz early on?
That was some of my best memories in the sport. I mean, when I started, I remember walking into the gym, he threw a pair of, actually, denim briefs. I don't know if you ever saw those.
I wore them most of my career, Billy.
Here I got a denim bench shirt, and I was like 190 pounds at the time, and it was an Inzer denim bench shirt, and it had belonged to a girl, and I guess she was bigger than I was at the time, and they folded the bench shirt over. He got a seamstress to fold the collar over, so it would fit me for the first meet. That was the first time I benched in a meet was with that shirt.
That's awesome.
Now, Billy, you are obviously we've built up the big fact that you're a doctor. So you went to what university?
So I went to Stockton University in South Jersey. I did my undergraduate there, right outside Atlantic City, and then I did my PhD at Rutgers.
And as you're going through, so now when you were at Francis, was that before, during, or after your education?
That was during.
During.
That was during my undergrad. I went to Drexel for a semester. I had a full scholarship to row there, and then I left and went back to Stockton. And still wanted to do something competitive and play a sport, and I always kind of wanted to lift weights, and that was the part I liked about sports, and got into it. And then a guy hooked me up with Franz, and
I don't want to put you on the spot, but now in college, you didn't play football or rugby or anything like that. You were a rower, competitive rower, correct?
Yeah. I took what came natural to me. I was kind of like tall and skinny, and I knew I had an opportunity for a scholarship in that sport. You know, I wasn't cut out to play football, basketball. I liked basketball, but it worked out well. But in the end, I just wasn't the sport for me, and I found my home in powerlifting.
So with the weightlifting part of it, so so you're young, you're impetuous, you're making the transition. So you're all done rowing. You meet Franz, who is like a superhero, and as you're going through with Franz, I guess I'm putting the wagon in front of the horses. As you're going through, when you get done competitively rowing, were you always interested in lifting weights? I mean, was Arnold Schwarzenegger, did you like the build, the physique, or did you like the strength? What was the excitement to it?
Yeah. My dad had a gym growing up, and he trained kids for football. One kid played arena football for a few years. He was like a 8th grade football coach at the middle school, and I saw those guys lifting weights all the time, and I was like, man, I want to do that someday. And he actually took me to a meet. I was like probably, 10, 12 years old.
Damn.
And I was like, man, this sport's cool. Someday I really would like to do that. So when the opportunity came, I was like, I need a sport now that doesn't really matter and that I can kind of do for fun. There's not really any money or pressure or scholarships in it. And found powerlifting.
Wow.
Dude, that's super fucking badass, man. I mean, that's probably about the purest way you could find your way into the sport, like authentically. Like, there's no broken heart, like my girlfriend broke up with me story or anything like that. So, I know we got a lot of information to cover, so let's move through it. So you meet Franz, you get to his gym. You already shared the story with the first bench shirt where they folded it over for you and stuff. As you went through in Franz's gym, the pedigree of the sport of powerlifting, did you find yourself getting more and more into it the more that you were there? Or I'm just asking you what your progression was as you went through.
Yeah, I sucked. My first total was 1250. And that was multiply. So I definitely didn't start out well. And I didn't know any better, but looking back on it now, like, what a cool environment that I got into. I mean, those guys, the way they trained Metal Militia, it was just hardcore, like loud music. Guys coached each other, told each other what to do. We benched, all the boards. There was just a lot of rules, a lot of structure. Franz was like this father figure. It was like the godfather overseeing this gym.
That's so cool, dude.
We had probably like 10 guys in there and 2 benches.
Who else was in that group that you started with?
In the middle of a neighborhood. And it was just so cool. And looking back, like now that I've seen the sport and seen what else is out there, like I realized how good I had it.
Oh, yeah.
I probably took it for granted, but
you slid into the platinum slot then because most of it's just sewage shit. And fucking backstabbing. Do you know, Billy, what was your first total you ever did, the 3-lift total?
Yeah, 1250. I benched 300. I benched 300 in that bench shirt. That was on the 3rd attempt.
I'm so old now. I don't even remember what my first total was, but I do remember the very first meet I ever lifted in. Paul, you know this one is the Saratoga Spa Catholic, and they wouldn't let you squat. Yeah. No, they did, but not at that meet. It was the March Madness one. Yeah. And the first meet I ever did was a push-pull, and I benched 400, and I think I pulled 5, I think. But I was doing bodybuilding then, too, so... But I don't even remember what my fucking first total was. It was probably less than Billy's, to be truthful with you. I didn't even know... Back then, too...
Double my total.
But back then, I'm older than you. Billy, you about, 33, 30, I'm about almost 50. They didn't, like, basically, we just lifted raw. I mean, we went to the meets, and I'm looking at guys, and I'm like, oh, my God, what the fuck is that? What are they wearing? And I remember telling Stephanie Felici, the girl that I trained with back then, and a couple other guys, Mark Delnicki, Brett Frazier, Mark Carab, a bunch of dudes. I remember fucking saying, I'm like, I don't ever want to put anything on like that. That looks painful. I just want to lift weights and get strong, and that's that. So, but being able to look back, well, I mean, I know that I'm a little bit older, but, being able to look back and seeing your first total. Do you remember what your first total was, Paul?
Yeah, it was first full meet total was 1275.
1275? How much you weigh?
154.
Gear or raw?
Yeah, gear.
Billy, your first meet was raw or geared?
No, it was equipped.
Equipped?
From the beginning.
So Billy, have you ever done any raw? Have you ever competed any raw stuff at all, or?
I've never done a raw meet. I've never done a single ply meet. All my totals have been multi-ply.
No shit, dude.
He goes hard, bro.
Dude, that's fucking bad, bro. Listen, I fucked around for like 10 years doing the stupidest shit you've ever fucking seen in your life before I was like, I'm not listening to West Side or any of this other crap anymore. I'm doing my own shit. So but
Equip was cool when I started, though. Yeah. That was the thing,
Yeah, man.
That's what people did, and that was the apex of the sport. So I think I was a product of my environment.
Dude, fuck. Look at the fucking the Tyrannosaurus Rexes you were working around with. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, down there, if you could walk, can you imagine being 20? I think I started. Billy, how old are you when you're done with a 4-year school? What are you, about 22,
23?
I think about 22, 23 maybe.
22, yeah.
20, yeah. I got done early. I'm a Boston Spa native, so I come home, and then I went to Saratoga to the World Gym. Dude, I was lucky because there was some fucking freight trains there, and but these guys were all raw as shit. They were like no equipped. No one lifted equipped down there. Nicky didn't. Bobby and Tommy and Dave Barnes. None of them guys. Elmer.
Yep. I
mean, they used to be the big thing was the champion deadlift suit and the Inzer Z suit and then the Blast bench shirt. That was it. So.
You say that because I trained with a guy before I went to Franz's, and he handed me some gear. He gave me remember the Erector shirts? I think a marathon suit, and that was like my first set of gear, and then I grew out of it pretty quickly, and Franz threw some real stuff at me, but it's funny you mentioned those old pieces.
But anyway, so moving forward off of that, because we want to bring you through, we really want to showcase you. I know, I talk about Franz very fondly because, how I met you, I love you, you're like family to me. And how I met you is through Franz. So, as you evolved in the sport going through it, you got better and better and better and better and better and better, all while you were with Franz. So, let's fast forward to you. Now you get a fantastic job opportunity, and you leave. You have to move. You can't stay where you are, so you move, and then. Your chapter. I'll let you tell the story. So you leave, and then with Bob Merck and their chapter, and then you start in another chapter. So
yeah, so Franz closed down, and then a bunch of guys that still kind of trained off and on in Franz. We decided to get our own gym started in like a commercial gym, and that was kind of the very beginning of Atlantic City Barbell, and then. We hated training in the commercial gym, and my dad still had his gym in the basement, so I said, let's just move the monolift and the competition bench down there and start training. And so we trained there for a while, and then in walked Bob Merck. He was just like a raw lifter. He was good, like, upper level, intermediate raw lifter, I'd say. I'd done a few meets and was just a really strong guy. And I wanted to lift multiply, and then we trained together for a couple of years down there in my parents' basement. And then when I graduated and finished grad school, I was actually driving an hour south, like up from Rutgers area, to train at my parents' house where we had the gym. And then I finally said, Bob, it's, you got to take it over. Like, I'm moving to Pennsylvania. So I moved out there and had a rental house. We had the gym in a one-car garage. It was like everything was just crammed in there. We trained there for about a year and a half, 2 years. That's when Steve joined me.
And as you go, you're going through and you're saying this, ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's watching the show, I think most people, have an idea. Do all the shit that you went through to do all this stuff, like, that's not easy shit. Like, if you're doing your own fucking gym and you're sacrificing space in your house and in your garage and shit, it fucking gets it's kind of like wild. So you get a lot of support from your wife, who also is an awesome power lifter too. I don't know what it would be like to be in a situation where you wouldn't have support from your better half. But as you've gone through, Billy, Jesus, you've made some big fucking changes as you win. When you left down Atlantic City and we made Bob a chapter president, and then you went off and done the stuff that you've done, and it wasn't once, it was twice. And then, your dad helping you, and then I think you mentioned Steve. I love Steve. Me and Steve are fucking cool. I love that kid, man.
And during that, you faced some major adversity. I'll just rewind a little bit back. August 2015, you were attempting a 925 squat, the XPC semifinals in Atlantic City.
That was after what we're talking about.
No, okay, my bad. So I'm just bringing that up. So as you're going along, so 2015, you're at this meet trying to get 925 on the squat. You blow out both knees, and by I mean blowout, I mean both ACLs torn, both meniscuses torn, femur fracture damaged, 3 surgeries, 3 months not being able to walk. And then not only did he come back, 2 years later, PR 930. PR. And then a couple days after the 3-year anniversary, squatted a 1005, which is PR. So you get knocked down and you get up again.
The thing is, listen, intellectually, how are you gonna? You can't outwit the guy.
No,
he's a fucking doctor. You can't outsmart him. You're not going to outwork him.
No.
So what are you going to do with the guy?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? That's what happens right there. Perseverance. He's a fucking savage, dude. No offense. You're not like a savage, like an uneducated savage. You're just a fucking savage.
If you wanna put on my camera real quick, he sent me some pics. I'll put them on mine. That's him, both knees blown out on the platform. And then
I don't think I've ever seen that. Let me see it. Let me see it. Yeah, I don't want to see that shit. Don't ever show that to me.
And then this is him waiting, I think, for the ambulance to come. I don't know, but that was him in the chair that got him up.
That was in the Atlantic City Convention.
This is some
XBC semifinals.
Yeah. The femur. This is the femur damage.
Billy, are you okay that he's showing that stuff?
She told me when he showed it to me.
Okay. I listen. I'm being respectful and I'm fucking asking.
I know. I was letting you know.
Okay. I'm just saying. I didn't want him.
Story. There happened to be a photographer at the meet that took all these pictures, and she took pictures of it.
You even sent me the one of you on the stretcher as you're leaving the center. Yeah. Which you fucking still jacked as fuck. If you want to put my camera back on. There it is.
That's where my wife comes in. Having a physical therapist as a wife is like pretty helpful.
Golden.
Do you think?
I don't really think about figure anything out. Like, I just kind of follow instructions.
Awesome.
Hey, I got to tell you something that's super cool. Like, right in the midst of this injury stuff, because we're going to move off of it really quick, and then I'm not going to get a chance to say it. So, obviously, Billy's had surgeries.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've had surgery. Everybody knows I've had a bunch of them. So when me and Billy were talking, like, I'm going to say some really funny shit, and I think that Bill will probably laugh when I fucking say it.
All right.
So as we're talking, like, you know, I had my neck surgery, and then Billy blew his knees out, and we were talking, and then I think I did my tricep surgery, and then the one that we were talking about video games. I had my labrum repaired, and it didn't work. And so as we're going through, Bill's like, I was talking to him at a meet, and I go, I got to have this surgery done. And he's like, I don't think it's going to work, but, you know, you got to do the, what is it called in a doctor language when you do the lesser? It's like the most, like the invasive or whatever it is, the lower of the ones. I had to try it. Yeah. And so as we're talking, Bill goes, well, you know, that's like 6 or 8 weeks, so you got to get a good video game and just play a good video game. And then, so Billy heard it, blew his knees up, and I said, man, you told me to get this video game. I really like Gears of War. I can't remember what one I was playing. And then it was Skyrim.
Yeah, I've seen you mess up with Skyrim.
The whole time that I was fucking injured, me and Billy were talking, like, and I'm like, I'm playing fucking Skyrim. I'm killing this. It's like a fucking and I bought that huge TV for my fucking house, and I'm playing Skyrim on it. I'm like, Billy, this isn't even that bad. I'm like, I'm doing okay.
Fritzy, what was your video game when you were injured?
Yeah, you gotta be patient, right? You gotta have something to do while you're patient. Yeah, I played Madden a lot.
Madden, that's cool. That's probably what I was.
But the funny thing is, man, when we was talking about it, I mean, we just too fucking I'm much older than Billy, but we young. Like how we're going, and Billy's like, listen, what you need to do is you need to play video game and keep your mind occupied. Yeah. And then when he got hurt, I was like, man, I'm playing Metal Gear. This is badass. And then Billy was playing his game, and then when I had my hip replaced, I don't remember what one I got back into, but I got it back into something, and it would just so it was kind of like we was going back and forth. Like after he had a surgery, I had a surgery. He had a surgery, I had a surgery. He had a surgery, I had a surgery, and then. You know, we're playing video games and goofing around. It was fucking pretty badass shit, man. I'm just saying, it made me feel good because, like, Bill's like, you know, fucking, you're gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, I'm fucking worried. And then when he gets hurt, I'm like, Billy, you're fucking gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. He's like, yeah, all right.
Go and play some Madden.
Yeah. So Fritzy. So going back to the accident, you fucking go through it. You have, 3 months of not being able to walk. You got your video games. But then when you start the road to recovery, you said your wife helped you a lot. She's a physical therapist. So what was the recovery side of that like from that injury or those injuries?
Oh, man. I had a lot of distractions. I was finishing on my PhD, and Bill, you remember the first meet that I did back was your meet.
Yeah.
April at the Fort William Henry.
I was nervous as fuck.
It was the day after I defended my PhD dissertation. That was the day I finished. I came up the day after.
And we talked about that, and we did it.
Deload week, coming into my defense, so I focused on that, and then I just showed up at the meet and lifted, and like it was just awesome. It all came together. So it was kind of like a good time because I kind of had a lot to do. I was writing a lot. I had to write my dissertation, so I was just kind of laid up and just doing a lot of writing, and I had to be patient. That's what Michelle, that's what my wife recommended, and it sucks. It's shitty. It's not fun. You want to lift weights, and so I played video games and wrote my dissertation and just patiently kept training and trying to get back stronger and stronger, and then did that meet, and then 2 years after, did the meet at Rita West that you came out to. You flew out in the helicopter.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that was when I squatted more than I did.
Man, I can tell you I was beyond proud of you. I was fucking, because I mean, that's, these are stories that are going to be told for a long time, and that a lot of times when people face adversity, they buckle, you know, a lot of cats that I know, and I'm very fortunate to know some bad. All you guys, everybody I know are bad motherfuckers for the most part. You know, most people, they blow their knees out, and then that's it. They're a ghost after that. You never hear a fucking word from them. Most dudes, they tear their pec, they're a ghost. You never hear from them. They tricep surgery, shoulder surgery. That's it. They're done. You know, we got a lot of fucking cats that just continue to fucking jam, and that's some fucking badass shit. And you know, the injury that you had was, I mean, Jesus fucking, that's a bad shot. I mean, and that's a hurdle to get over. But not only did you get over it, you've continued with the sport, and you've done well in life. You're doing fantastic. You have a great job. You're working in a college, and you're doing everything that you were supposed to be doing. But yet still, you're competing, and you're moving forward, and you're getting better and better and better and better. It's amazing to me the power of the human mind. You're like exemplary of that. Like when bad shit happens, you can either fucking, you know, fold up shop and quit, or you can fucking drop the hammer and go. And you just have always been a drop the hammer kind of guy. Like I'm gonna get that work, and I'm gonna do my thing, and it's just always been badass. So, you know, and with you, Franz pedigree and all that stuff moving forward, I don't mean to disrespect Franz, and I don't believe that this is disrespectful, but you've done a lot of amazing things on your own as well, and you should have the, you know, kudos and accolades for all that stuff as well. So, you know, let me be the first to say, you know, Billy, I love you. You know that we fought, we've talked, we've fucking, you know, all stuff, and it's like this, you know, it's like with you, I feel like I'm your older brother. I don't feel like I'm not that old. I'm not like a father figure.
I feel like I'm your younger brother.
If let me tell you, Fritzy's my younger brother, and you're Fritzy's younger brother.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm the bastard child. It was an accident.
Listen, man, I'm only 49. When I'm about 55, you could be like, the old man. And then call me Pop.
Hey, Pops.
I like the way you call me Big Pop.
Literally. Hey, so Fritzy.
You know, feelings mutual.
I know. You ain't gotta say that stuff, Billy. You're such a good dude. Very, very respectful guy. Always. Everything that you always have done is right. You do everything right.
So I'm reading the comments on here, Fritzy, and since we're talking,
I haven't read a single.
We're talking about recovering from injuries. There's a on here. Autumn Markham Elliott just wrote, "I had hip surgery and am a mental mess from recovery. Maybe someone can reach out for some advice."
Autumn, what hip surgery did you have?
Yeah.
All right. If he posts up, Autumn, you're obviously watching the show. Whatever hip surgery you had, explain it, because if you had a labrum repair or a hip replacement, there could be tons of different things.
Probably agree. Probably the best general advice is just, you know, try to do things that make you feel better. You can't do too much, you know, rehab. Do what your doctor tells you.
Yeah,
I agree with that to a point, but I mean, my doctor told me some stupid shit in the beginning because he's conservative. So,
right, Autumn, you had labrum
repair.
That's your territory, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, the labrum repair did not work for me because I'm hyperactive. I think, well, honestly, not to blow up Bill Fritz even more, this isn't even Bill. This has nothing to do with Bill. It's his wife. So I had my normally when you have your labrum repaired, you're a regular like guy or girl, and you do like regular shit, and then you'll be okay. If you try to lift weights with a labrum repair, it's not. Autumn, it doesn't work. I tried, and I think in the better part of 9 months after my surgery, I shredded whatever cartilage was left in my hip. It was gone. When I actually had my hip replaced, I had impact trauma on my pelvis and impact trauma on my hip, and there was zero cartilage left. So I would say if you want to walk and just be regular, the labrum surgery works. If you want to continue competitively in any way, I would say just get the hip replaced, which is exactly what Bill Fritz's wife told me when I told her I was having my labrum repaired. And since I have had my hip replaced, I've squatted 600 pounds raw. Now, it's not huge. Obviously, there's tons of people that can do that, but I don't.
With reps?
What's that?
Was that with reps?
No. It's just 600 pounds raw.
Capital R.
Yeah, just 600 pounds raw. No, it's not even like that, Billy. I'm not even like, because actually.
No, the internet needs to know.
Fair enough.
Bill Fritz is the man.
Oh, we're gonna get into it in a minute, Billy. Listen, man. The Niagara Fall floodgates are gonna go in a minute.
Oh man,
I'm gonna let Billy just run rickshaw in a minute. But for me, what I did was, and of course, Bill could chime in here because I'm a very private guy. I don't talk about my personal life a lot. But Bill, anytime that I've done stuff injury-wise, I've always talked to Bill about it. And I've talked to Dr. Alanya, and I've talked to Dr. Reeves, and I've had some good surgeons. I actually came back autumn, and I trained a little too aggressively, and I bent my implant and had to have another implant put in. So what I did was I came back and trained and didn't listen, and I bent my implant, and it twisted, and it broke loose from the bone, and then I had to go in and have it done again. So prior to that, I did 500 for 10 raw, and then I had to have my hip replaced again, and I wanted to make sure it was strong, so I worked myself up to a 600-pound raw squat and was able to do that after the fact on the second implant, and I'm good still. And, I mean, jokingly, this is funny. I know everyone's going to fucking laugh, but it was actually harder to run that fucking 5K race than it was to fucking squat 600 pounds. Paulie,
you made it, though.
Everybody here knows that I fucking squatted 600 raw, wearing nothing but a smile. I did have a belt on, Fritzy, so it wasn't completely raw. I wasn't wearing a fig leaf, and I was naked, but I was able to do that, but I ran a 5K race, and which scared the shit out of me, because I mean, that's tough on your hips to be able to do that kind of, especially what did I weigh? What I was
280 something. I thought
I was like 280. I think I was about 285 when I did it. That's not good. It's not good for it, but so goes life.
Went to a good cause.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna fucking smoke weed and drink liquor and cry in the corner, or are you gonna fucking try something? I'm just gonna try it anyway. So it is what it is. But as we went through everything, and this time around, I took a little bit more time, let the bone graft more, and it all worked out great. So, and Billy, you and I have talked many times about the hips and the labrum and all that stuff, and your wife is so in tune with all of it. She gave me a lot of insight with everything too, so it was super badass.
Well, that was, I had a minor tear in my labrum and called you, and you, Michelle, which is my wife, the physical therapist, and my doctor, all same exact advice. So,
And that makes you feel so much better too when you get 3 or 4 people that actually give a shit about you, not some fucking slouch that's telling you some bullshit.
One funny story about your wife, Fritzy. I remember, I think it was the first Worlds or whichever Worlds. Yeah, whichever Worlds she competed at. I don't know if it was the first or second, but she I go, yo, Fritzy.
I'm gonna need a ride home.
She goes, yo, Fritzy. I go, yo, Fritzy. I was trying to get your attention, and she goes, which one? I'm like, I don't know, the doctor. And she goes, okay, which one? I'm like,
they're both doctors.
The boy, the one that's a boy. I didn't know, so I felt bad. I was like, oh, my bad. Okay, so you're both doctors. That's badass. So you're very adamant that we touch on this subject.
Hang on. Okay. All right, so we're moving off all the fucking introduction stuff, all the friendly stuff. We hit injuries and coming back. All right, so I'm gonna start.
Okay,
and then Billy's gonna jump in.
Okay,
and I don't want to do this because if anybody talks shit and wants to say shit, talk shit on me, make me be the villain. So I'm gonna fucking say some stuff right now. And then Billy can chime in, but I'm the lightning rod. So first off, we're going to talk about fucking squat depth. Squat depth now compared to 5 years ago, compared to 10 years ago. And I'll use names as we go if you want. So we'll start way back when Kirk squatted. That was squat depth. And then we went a little bit further along. Brent Mikeskill. That fucking dude wore a canvas suit and hit squat depth. Same shit. Okay? Squat depth now compared to that stuff. And I only used Kirk because I think Kirk is might be the greatest squatter of all time. Maybe, maybe not. Personal opinion. The dude only weighed 275 pounds. The shit that guy did in a Titan suit, crotched all the way up, didn't do a god. Basically, he squatted 1,000 pounds raw. Now, are there guys beating that now? Yes. This fucking animal that just totaled 2,600 raw, and his lifts were all legit. Savage. The Lillian Bridges, savage. We're getting static. What's going on here? Figure it out. So, the Lillian Bridges, savage. These guys are fucking savage. Zafayer, savage. All these guys, these dudes are fucking beasts. No disrespect at all. So let's just kind of hone in on the equipped lifting, and I'm just setting the stage for you, Billy. So, equipped lifting at this day and age, you're about 3 high. And not to talk shit, but I'm going to lay the groundwork for it here. West Side Barbell set the standard. Okay? We were making our fucking dudes sit them low. And when they were going to the big meets, the WPO, the APF Senior Nationals, Junior Nationals, IPA, West Side showing up, they're 3 high. We're at parallel. And what was happening?
Yeah, I think the standard did change a little bit.
Yeah, but what was happening? If I'm making you squat to parallel and a competitor can squat 2.5, 3 high, what happens to you?
Well, look at the competition. I mean,
you lose.
So a lot of those meets compete those guys for that reason.
But you lose. Okay, let me just say this to make it easier. If I said, Bill, I want to see you squat a grand to a parallel depth, and you can do that. If I said, all right, Fritzy, let's be cool here. Let me see what you can do 2.5 high. Could you do 1,000? Could you do 1,050? Could you do 1,100? I don't know. But it's going to be a hell of a lot more than what the fuck you can sit 1,000 to a parallel depth. Am I correct?
Yeah, Bill, I agree. And you remember Lou Simmons, I think, had a quote that was like, every inch below parallel you go is worth about 100 pounds.
100 pounds. 100.
And I think that's conservative.
So
it makes a big difference.
It does. I've been there. I've squatted 1,065. I've squatted 1,050. I've squatted 1,033. I've squatted 1,030. I've squatted 1,025. 1,020, all the way down to 1,000. Every single 1,000-pound squat that I have ever fucking done, depending on where you get called up, and sometimes you get I can tell you, I asked Jeff McVicker one time. I think I did a 1025 down at the York meet, at the York barbell place, the IPA meet Mark Chalet run. and I squatted it and hit it, and I walked out the platform. Jeff and Vicar, I said, "How was it?" He goes, "Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas." I mean, I got 2 whites and a red, and I took the lift, and it is what it is. And I went back and looked at it. I was 1 high, but now it's 3 high.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, and I can say this, and I don't mean to put this on Westside Barbell this way, but they set the standard, and they were beating everybody.
Yeah.
But our guys were sitting them low. And then the topography of the land changed.
Yes.
And then, we have all had, Billy, you and I have had very intense conversations privately over this stuff. And so I broke the ice here. I said we're solely right now, the topic is squat depth. So I'm going to give you the floor and allow you to talk about squat depth. But I'm telling you, we didn't set the standard. Metal Militia didn't set the standard. We're competing at the same standard that everybody else is. So go ahead, Billy. Let's hear what you got to say.
Shit, that's a hell of a setup. Yeah, I think every world record squat multiply right now is probably, not as deep as some of the squats in the past. I mean, it's hard to judge by video, but
Billy, I disagree with you. I think it's easy to tell by video. I can look at any video and tell if a squat's high or low, and you can too. Listen, we're gonna do a no holds barred. Say what the fuck you want. I will back up everything you say, and it's not. You can look at a video and tell if the fucking guy squatted high. We're not talking a half inch. If you're 3 inches fucking high, bro, it ain't ballpark. You're not even playing the same. It's a different sport at that time.
Yeah, I think squat depth is probably the most subjective part of the judging of our sport, and that's probably the problem, right? I mean, it's up to 3 judges, and that's it. There's not really any. I think bench is a lot easier to judge. You touch your chest, you lock it out. Your arms are locked out. There's even been questionable calls with that.
If you Billy, give me 35 seconds to respond to that. Of course, because you're a doctor, you bring up a point that's so awesome. And this is such a fun way to talk about this. And this isn't bashing anybody. Let's just talk. Number 1 problem with powerlifting right now, that way, squat depth sucks. Everyone squats high as fuck. Number 2, no one fucking follows the rules of benching. They don't. It's touch and go. As soon as the weight touches your chest, you get a press command. You get soft handoffs that follow the weight down. Nothing is strict anymore at all.
You bend the rules in every sport.
As you bend them though, if you bend a rule in 2005, in 2010, it's bent more. In 2015, it's bent more. In 2020, it's bent more. So the number 1 problem, I believe, and I agree with you, is squat depth. Number 2 problem is sloppy-ass benching. Billy, how many sloppy-ass benches have you seen pass where you're like, oh, God, dude, that was just no good? And then deadlifting, the only thing...
Having high morals and standards doesn't give you...
No. Listen, and that's where you start having an issue with some of this stuff is high morals and standards, but you come in 3rd or 4th or 5th place in these meets where you need to be winning. You know what I mean? So it's a different game, and like you said earlier, Louis Simmons said many years ago, if you squat at parallel and you can squat 1,000 at parallel, if you're allowed to squat 1 high, that's 100 pounds.
That's 1,100 pounds.
The difference between 1,000-pound squatter and an 1,100-pound squatter could be 1 inch, and that's it. So if the standard's set, you have to follow it. So that being said, sloppy benching, number 2, number 1 is squat depth. And I would really like to see tightening up of the rules, especially now with the massive massive increase in the supportive gear. It's insane. Dude, a 700-pound bench now is basically nothing.
Amateur.
Anyone can bench 700.
Amateur gear bench.
800-pound bench is common. You could go to a local meet and watch 10 dudes bench 800 pounds. 900 pounds is,
Third meets, yeah.
900 pounds is like, not bad. I actually did an interview with not Flex Mag. It's Flex Magazine, but
Muscle and Fitness or something.
No, well, it's the old Musclemania 2000 I bought out of Flex Magazine, but and I said this is 3 weeks ago. I said I think by the end of next year you're going to see about 100,000-pound benchers, 100, and there's about 15 of them right now. Watch the shirts.
Right? There was that was like the holy grail, and then there was tons of them. I guess I was one. I don't know. I mean, you take what's given to you, right?
You have to play the game. That's what you and I were talking about. You have to play the game. I'm not making the rules of the sport. If I'm going to put our club, at least the New York chapter, and I know you would do a chapter, I'm going to put cats in the field that are to compete. But if I'm going to go to a fucking meet and I'm watching a dude squat too high, I'm calling. If I'm still capable of competing at a very high level professionally, if I go to a meet and you say, Billy, coach me, I'm going to watch the guys you're competing against. And if somebody squats too high and gets whites, I'm going to fucking go right to you and I'm going to say, Fritzy, listen, man, letting shit go, they're going high. So I'm going to call you 1.5 high. I'm going to pull you a little more, but I'm going to let you go. So, what you think you can do is out of the window because we'll be about 150 pound, 200 pound more, and that's how it is. We're not making the rules in the sport, but we're following the rules. So if the WPO wants to crank down and make shit happen, great. In our federation, we've gotten scrutinized recently about some high squats, and I agree, they're high. I have fucking seen squats passed in our federation that pissed me off. But the same thing. The APF I'm not going to call people out by name, but,
Squats in most multiply federations now.
where people will go and hit a squat, and people want to. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll just say I will say what I want to say. We've gotten a lot of flack about high squats, and Laura Phelps's gym has some squatters there, and they took on social media to talk shit about our club when Laura is probably the highest squatter I've ever seen in my entire life in multiply gear. Her, Jim Parrish, there's a few others, but I mean they're right up there. Their squats are fucking 4 or 5 inches fucking high, and then you want to come on and talk shit about stuff that we're doing, which is hilarious. So I think what's the name of their gym? Doghouse Gym or whatever they are.
I'm not sure.
Whatever. It doesn't make any difference because I mean they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant anyhow. And I'm not talking shit about them. They got their shit passed, but then don't talk shit when your shit gets beat by the same shit. So let me say it this way so that I'm not calling anyone out. If I squatted 1,200 pounds and I broke the all-time world record in the squat for whatever weight class, and my squat was an inch high, but it got passed. If some dude comes and squats 1210 and is an inch high, I can't come back and say that squat was high because my squat was high. So if you're squatting high, don't talk shit. We didn't make the rules. We're following the fucking game. And I think that that's important right now. And if people want to see squats passed the way that they're supposed to be passed, and this also gives a black eye on the sport of equipped lifting, because of course immediately all the raw guys are like, wow, that's not real lifting, look, they're squatting high as fuck and they got all this gear on and blah blah blah. It just gives them more ammunition. And the equipped lifters are like, yeah, but I'm squatting 1,300 and you're squatting 1,000, so I'm 300 above you. So it is what. And the benching's even worse. So as you go through all this stuff, the fight is like this snake where it goes back and forth, and you hit a good point and then you hit a weak point, and good and weak. But as you go through with all this stuff, some of it is horseshit, and calling individuals out is some fucked up shit, because, not to be a dick, we didn't set the rules. The 3,000 pound total that Donnie Thompson did and up. The standards changed. It did. So, and it is what it is. If you really want to see someone in equipped gear, and this isn't a guy that's in the metal militia, it's not a club member. If you want to really see a dude hit a real total in fucking ass-kicking multiply gear, watch Andy Bolton. That dude squatted to a legitimate depth. He benched
12, 13,
he benched properly, and he deadlifted. He's the best deadlifter to ever fucking live. So, I know that fucking people love Eddie Hall and shit, but Eddie Hall ain't gonna ever beat Andy's lift, without straps and without hitching, and there's a difference. So we're talking about powerlifting, not strongman. So, but that's a fucking total. And if you go back a little further, and the numbers go down as you go back, but the standards were more strict. And like we were talking about earlier, if you squat 1,000 to a parallel depth and you're allowed to go one high, you can 1,100. You go too high, you're 11, maybe not 12, but maybe 1,150. You go three high, like these obscene lifts that are being passed are absurd, where they bend their knees, they break their hips, and what was the dude that just did like a 1,300
Like tractor
I love
practice.
that guy. I love that guy.
Billy, none of this makes.
He's my kind of guy. Like, he's farm strong. I like him a lot.
None of this makes a dude a bad dude, but nothing makes a guy a bad guy.
Because you squat high, you're a bad guy. I don't think that's true.
That's my point, Billy. That's my point exactly. It doesn't make you a bad guy. It just like your lift sucked. If he got on the internet and was like, "Fuck you," and got no, that's my point. If he looked at that, listen. How about this? This is an easier way to go about this. And I don't want to. I didn't want to single out Laura Phelps. The only reason why I did was because there's a ton of people in her club. There's a ton of people in her club that have talked shit on our federation. When Billy, let's be real. Let me ask you this: how would you view Laura Phelps as a competitor?
I don't know. I think she's kind of awesome. She was competitive as hell. I don't have a problem with her.
No, I'm not talking about a problem, but in terms of squat depth, I personally think that she
squatted really high for sure.
But by the rules that they let her do it by, she was allowed to do that, and that's just how it goes. She played the game and did well with it.
I would too. I would have done the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly. So you just made my argument. I'm not an assault on Laura. I'm just saying, she was allowed to squat high and got credit for the lifts, and why not? It is what it is. So, but moving off of that and how we're talking about the direction of what we're going to go, you know what? How about do this? What would be the easiest way to return powerlifting to grassroots, where you have to break parallel in squatting, where you have to legitimately pause a bench and legitimately lock it out with not your arms bent or like drifting the weight back or any of that stuff. So, in your opinion, how would you return to that mark?
Man, that's a hell of a question.
And take your time with it because we're gonna give you about 6 minutes to answer.
Man, I think you demonstrate. I think you're doing it. I mean, karate's all-time world record, regardless of weight class, which is like as big as it gets. There's no argument on the way that lift was executed. I think that, you lead by example. But, and you holding meets and like having a federation, you have some say in it now. And I think, those are the people that really have a say in the rules. Otherwise, you just go and compete and do what you can. But I think, I don't know. I think we're doing the right thing. That's why I'm here.
That's a hell of an answer there, Dr. Fritz, and I agree with you. Basically in a roundabout way.
All of your lifts are clean. I mean, I watch you lift
Yeah.
and trying to chase your bench numbers.
Yeah.
And you lock everything out, you touch it, and, I think that's admirable, and there's no question in any of your lifts, and you beat a lot of people. I think that's more fun than cheating to get a
Absolutely. I think.
But to each their own,
Yeah, for sure.
If that's what people want to do, in this sport, sadly, you can have your own meet, set your own standards, and do a lift the way you want to do it and count it. I mean, I don't know. I think the records are kind of tarnished, but that doesn't mean the sport's not still awesome.
Right.
Awesome sport, and I agree with that. But what about integrity, Billy? I mean, let me ask you this: you are an A-level competitor. If you were chasing after an all-time record, okay, and you knew that let's just say you were blessed by God. I mean, I don't know if everybody here believes I believe in God, so I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. If you were blessed by God to be able to break a record, and you looked at the record that you broke, and the dude, let's say it was a squat record, and the dude's record that you broke squatted 2 inches lower than you, how would you, I mean, integrity, how would you feel about that?
I would feel like I lost. That guy is stronger than I am.
Well, you would, I mean...
Bottom line, right?
Exactly. I mean, you know what? You nutted what I was going to say after that, because that's just the absolute alpha male, straightforward way to say it. Like, look, I got my total, I did my thing, but so and so did it fucking, and he did his thing, and I just feel like it was better.
Regardless of what the records say, I think everybody knows who the strongest guys are.
Right.
They remember Will Barati, they remember Dave Hoff, they remember Eddie Hall, they remember Andy Bolton. You know strength, whether they have an all-time world record or whether they lost to somebody who bet the rules. You know who's the strongest guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm optimistic, but
No. That is, dude. Even the dudes, even the dudes that are hitting those lifts, they know. And I guess that's the point I'm trying. You know what? Overall, everything that we were talking about, without taking personal shots at anybody, and let me be clear one more time, I'm not taking a personal shot at the tractor dude.
Yeah.
Not taking a shot at that guy. I'm not even taking a shot at Mike Womack. That obviously that was fucking horrific. I'm not taking a shot at Laura Phelps. I'm not taking a shot at her. I'm not taking shots at anybody. These are examples that I'm giving. If I give you an example, we're just trying to talk about it. This is a ham and egg show. I'm talking, Bill's answering, Bill's talking, I'm answering. Yep. That's just how the broadcasting goes. Our show is broadcasted on many channels. We have tons of viewers, and we're just talking. That's all we're doing. So this isn't an individual attack at anybody. It's just we're having a conversation about what's going on in the sport. And I'd be honest with you, I'm 49 years old. I'm not done competing. I'm still going to bench a little bit. Billy, you're way fucking, you got another fucking 15 years. Young Buck and everybody else, everyone's got so much time left to lift in this sport. All we're trying to do is make the sport, well, I want to make the sport scary again, where people look at motherfuckers and they're like, God damn, this is fucking nuts. There's nothing better than watching someone do something that's just so fucking badass and awesome. It's unbelievable. So, that's all I'm trying to do. So we're going to do our shit the way that we do it, and, it is what it is. But, setting the standard. And Bill, please, take the opportunity to tell everybody. I don't think that we've ever been the first ones to ever, and when I say we, the Metal Militia, I don't think we've ever been the ones to do anything short first. And let me just say this as I lead you in. There was a lot of meets where we were sending our best lifters to the highest level meets, whether it was the WPO or whatever, where other clubs were doing lifts that were not to the standard, and our guys were doing it to the standard, and we were losing. So we just followed suit. Am I correct? I mean, in your observation and everything that you've seen, am I correct?
Yeah, 100%.
And so,
what I always liked from you was like you always talk about like a meet, a guy beats you and you say congratulations, you were better on that day.
Today you beat me.
You beat me on that day.
Doesn't mean you're better. See, that's an old football analogy. Me and Waldron used to say that all the time. I love bringing up Mikey Waldron because the dude played for the 49ers, fucking West Virginia the year they were undefeated. It's my best friend my whole fucking life. I've known him since we've been little kids. I bring Mike up on a podcast because he's just this fucking amazing football player. But, dude, when we used to fucking meet out on the field and shake hands with the other teams, people talk differently. City people talk different than country folk. Country folk talk different than city people. People from down south talk different. But when you play a college sport, Billy, this, you rode in college. Everybody has like a little bit of different lingo. So what Waldron used to say all the time was when we didn't do well and we didn't win, Mike would fucking shake somebody's hand and be like, you got us today, homie. You got us today. You ain't no better. You just beat us today. You're better today. And I took that from football right into powerlifting. Doesn't necessarily mean that person's a better lifter than you. It just means they were better that day. They had a better training cycle. They weren't hurt. They had better nourishment. They had, recovery. Everything worked out better. Supplement everything worked out better for them. They didn't have as many problems. I think as you get older, it's more problems. If you have less problems and, more good luck, I suppose, if you wanted to say it like that. But, as you go along with it, it's just how it is. And I love that you have adopted that philosophy because it really gives you anonymity to like just say, look, man, congratulations. I'm not such a fucking asshole that I can't shake your hand and say good fucking job. Another thing, too, while we're on the subject of it, I've met Dave Hoff one time. I don't have any problem against this guy. Did I want Bob Merck to beat him? Yes. Did I want Chris Delafave to beat him? Yes, absolutely, because they're friends of mine. And Bob's in our club. I want Bob to win everything. I don't ever want to see Bob ever fucking lose. If you were competing against Dave Hoff, I would want you to win. But that doesn't mean I don't respect what he's done or I don't like the guy. I don't dislike Dave. I don't. At all. I don't know enough about the guy to not like him. Earlier on, he did some lifts that were, in my mind, questionable. But as he's gotten more mature and gone along, dude, you can't argue with success. The guy's done some fucking amazing things. So, that being said, I guess tighten up your shit. Quit acting like a fucking baby. Understand the fact that you can be constructively criticized and not act like a fucking asshole. And don't talk shit on people when you have shit. I think that's probably a good thing. If you're a shitbag and you have a ton of shitty lifts, and then you start talking shit about people, that's probably not the best way to fucking conduct yourself. I'm saying. I mean, maybe I'm wrong because I'm fucking 50, but I guess that's maybe something different. I don't know. What do you think, Billy?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Yeah, conduct yourself the way you want to be viewed, the way you want to be respected. Just act that way and you'll get it.
Exactly. And instead of getting bogged down, let's talk some fucking turkey here. So, Billy Fritz, a young man, a man amongst men. What are we looking to see out of Mr. Fritz in the next year?
I'll answer that first. I'm looking to see you bench at Benching for Heroes July 3rd.
Now, benching for heroes is awesome, and I'm not going to say shit.
Just wanted to get that out first.
But before you got to give put him back up on the fucking screen so I can see his. There we go. So, but that you fuckers. So that being said, the next year for Dr. Fritz, 1 year from today, where would you like to see yourself in the squat, the bench, the deadlift, and the total? Let's hear it.
Oh man, where I'd like to see myself. We're gonna lift at the probably the June meet. We're probably gonna do the April meet. The one that you're hosting, the one that Kyle's hosting. Then we're gonna go out to the Erie one in July.
Let me tell you something. The June meet. Do you own any firearms?
Spring and summer is our time of year.
Do you own any firearms? Guns?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you.
That's a gun safe right there.
Nice.
Turn the camera on.
So let me tell you something. Where we're having the meet in June at Kyle's contest is in the Whitehall Armory. Okay, now that doesn't mean nothing to you. Hang on a minute.
Right?
That doesn't mean nothing to you because you're not from up here. But I'm going to tell you something. Look it up on the internet. It is the birthplace of the United States Navy. So all the way back to when the conception of the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Navy came from Whitehall, New York, and the armory that we're running this weightlifting contest in is the birthplace of the United States Navy. And they happen to have a 150-yard underground gun range that we are going to have access to.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm not fucking kidding. Ask Young Buck.
Yep, it's there. I saw it.
It's there. It's fucking badass, and we're going to fucking shoot guns. And they have a billiards room. It's a 40,000 square foot building. 3 bars. They have a fucking piece of the Titanic in this fucking place. And I'm not kidding. Ask Young Buck.
They got fucking muskets from the 1700s.
They got muskets from the fucking French and Indian War in this fucking place. This is no fucking joke. We're rolling in
deep,
soaking in the history, hitting big lifts, and having a fucking good time. Getting drunk, taking names, and kissing babies. And maybe... I don't know, maybe committing adultery. I don't know. Shit could happen. I don't know what could happen. Shit could happen. I don't know.
You never know what could go on.
You show up, we're camping, we're riding motorcycles, there's a golf course. I might go hit a 350-yard drive. People be like, I can't believe the skills of this man. It could happen.
Me and Steve are in, and we got a new guy. He's in too. So
Sweet.
Let's hear about the new guy. Come on, lay him on us, bud.
yeah, he's a strong guy. He's got a bright future.
What's his name? Are we just going to call him the guy?
Yeah, it's another Bob Mallory.
Bob
Yeah, he
Mallory.
doesn't have like social media or anything. That's why I like him.
He's a caveman.
He's gonna do the meet, and we'll be there for sure. That sounds awesome.
So
I got the posters the other day.
Me too. It was awesome.
So Bob Mallory, is he any relation to the guy that was the first man to ever climb Mount Everest? Because the first guy to ever climb Mount Everest, who is dead up on Mount Everest. Last name Mallory. I'm just saying. Could be a relation.
Maybe.
Just calling it
Distant cousin or something.
I told you he's got a bright future.
Hey, people can fucking cross train. I'm fucking fat as fuck, and I ran a 5K. Yeah. I don't mean to keep bringing that up, but of course I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by it, but it is what it is.
Well, Dr. Fritz, you're one of my favorite powerlifters. I'm a Dr. Fritz powerlifting fan.
I'm a fan, dude.
Always. If I'm at a meet and you're lifting, I'm fucking rooting for Dr. Fritz. And don't ever fucking go to O'Toole's without me again, or we're going to have problems.
You know what I love about Fritzy the most?
I did you dirty.
You did.
I love the intellectual conversations that
dude.
you have with the guy. If you talk with Fritzy, you know, and you indulge in...
I feel smarter after.
You know, I always feel relaxed.
Yeah.
If I can hang out with the guy and, you know, drink or indulge in some party favorites or whatever, I just always have a good time with Bill, and he always makes me feel fucking like I'm not pissed.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking okay. Thank God there's some normal motherfuckers out there that are doing some cool shit. That are shearing sheep and doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Shearing sheep, yeah. Go ahead and take a minute
Sheep
or two talk about
shearing.
sheep shearing. You wanted to talk about it, so go ahead.
Before you say a word, finish the fucking Tito's in the glass and then talk. Come on. Don't be a fucking girl. I drank this whole bottle earlier.
Nice.
Damn. That fucker really finished it. And that's the kind of shit I like.
It's a side job. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta pay the bills.
Fair enough.
I like teaching, but I like to be outdoors, and I don't know. It's like any other trade. It makes money.
So my favorite thing that I've ever seen.
It's fun. You know, you go to different places all the time. You meet a lot of new people. You're working with animals. You're outside. It's cool.
So do you just go up and tackle the sheep?
It sucks when you deadlift them. Really does a number on their back.
Before I ask, I'm going to ask you a question. I do love the garden that you made with the fucking, you know, you posted it a year ago. That's badass. But Buck just said something that superseded that. So, like, when you shear a sheep, do you tackle them? Is it like
tackle the sheep, or you just go up and grab them?
Yeah, it's called flipping.
Flipping.
Or like casting.
Are they strong?
And when they're
Billy, are they strong? Do they struggle?
They chill and they're completely relaxed.
All right.
So there's no struggle. You just grab and throw. So there's like when people talk, like they're like, oh,
technique. It's a skill and it helps to be kind of strong, but it's like very technical. You got to manipulate their skin so that there's no wrinkles, so you don't cut them. It's very like there's
Wow.
positions. It's like a series of steps that you go through. It's anyone can figure it out, but it just takes hard work.
You're like a sheep barber.
Cool.
fucking sheep shearing. Let's
shearing
be fucking
barber.
honest, dude. Yeah. This man can shear a sheep.
He
I
can.
can't.
I've seen him do it on Facebook.
And I can tell you right now, fuck, dude, this microphone's failing me. I can't shear a sheep, and you can't either.
Nope.
And if you want to talk shit, I want to see a fucking video.
Yeah, send us a video of you shearing a sheep after.
Put a fucking video up on the Metal Militia website of you shearing a sheep, because I think that's fucking badass. Look, people can say what they want. They can talk shit. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm a fucking... Dude, this man's a college professor. He's a doctor.
Sheep shearer.
And he fucking has a great garden.
Yep.
Dude, you should see the garden.
I saw it when he posted. It's fucking sick.
Fucking badass, dude. I'm actually...
I don't really like vegetables, though.
I don't either, but you know what?
Like, they kind of suck. My wife eats them, but that's cool. I like meat.
The flavoring's good, but I'm telling you, garlic is good. Tomatoes are good. Fucking listen, Reaper peppers are good. They're good. Everything is good. You know what? As I've gotten older, I'm just open to. I can tell you right now, in my whole life, my number one priority before the summer is I'm going to build a smoker like no one has ever seen. This fucking thing, I'm telling you, when this fucking thing is done, you ain't never seen nothing like it. It's going to be a toe behind. The searing plate is going to have a Metal Militia skull on it. It's going to say, you could eat a fucking piece of steak off of this fucking thing, and it might say META. It might have a corner of a skull on it. I mean, if you a big eater like Buck, well, I mean, at least a month ago he was. I don't know how he is now with how his life is eating cookies and.
Just let me help you operate it. I just want to hang out around it.
And listen,
I wanna be near
okay, sir.
You want help welding it?
Sir, when you're done talking, I would love to interject. Sir, I want you involved, but it has to be with an alcoholic beverage in hand. We have to drink liquor and have a good time while you're grilling. That's the next stage. If I can get you involved at your young ass age to be able to do that, when you get to my age, you're going to be like the fucking grand poobah of fucking, I mean, you'll be able to, oh man, I'm jealous. Right? You know what? I'm jealous. And now I'm not, I'm no longer a Bill Fritz fan. I'm pissed. Because he's going to be able to fucking do cool shit. And I'm too old to enjoy it. But it'd be fantastic anyways to have him there. Man, what was the liquor that John had? The Pappy's? What is that called?
Pappy Van Winkle.
Pappy Van Winkle.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Do you think it's $1,200 a bottle? I'm just saying it's probably good. So listen, I've never had it, Fritzy. I'm gonna get a bottle of it, and I'm gonna buy a half a steer, and me and you, and Paulie and Buck, we're grilling this fucking thing, and I'm gonna try to get Catfish Cooley up because he's good with seasoning.
That guy.
He's a good dude. He's fucking a cool dude.
Tell me what you need. If you need a pig, if you want to roast a lamb.
No, man. I want to do a half a steer, man. Do it half a steer.
Let me know and I can bring it up.
Do a half a steer. Well, I ain't gonna ask you to shear a sheep. That's for fucking damn sure, you skilled motherfucker. You wanna fucking bleed the wrinkles, but hey, man, I can't wait. But this meet coming up in June is gonna be fun. It's not gonna be like that. We're not gonna be barbecuing and shit. But I mean, you know. You come up to the house now, and you know we'll do our thing. So it is what it is.
So, Dr. Fritz, like I said, been awesome having you on. Definitely will have you on again anytime you want.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Hell yeah, brother.
Talking to you guys.
Yeah, bro.
Billy, is there anything you want to? Any subject? We got a little bit of time left. Is there any subject you want to cover? Anything you want to talk about in the sport? Any person? Anything at all? Any shout outs you want to give? I mean. Obviously, your wife's a saint because you're a gigantic shitbag and she's awesome. So,
yeah. No, I appreciate that, Bill.
I'm just speaking facts, sir. She's certainly the better part of the Fritz family.
You know, I don't know. My mom, she's awesome. I have nobody else to thank. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Yes, sir.
It's been a great time. I love shooting the shit with you guys. You know, I'll be up soon. We got a series of meets. We're gonna be hanging out with you guys.
Oh man.
You know, it's gonna be a great summer.
Billy, we actually have a lot of cool meets coming up. Rob Farrell's going to be running a cool meet. Yeah. Kyle's going to be running nationals. We got the April meet. We didn't even do the meet schedule?
No, we're doing it after this.
We do it after.
July, we got Bucks meet.
Hell yeah.
Man, I got to tell you something, Fritzy. Are you ready for this? I think I'm going to lift him. I think I personally am going to lift in Bucks meet.
Oh shit!
Here it is.
Oh shit!
I think I'm going to lift in Bucks meet, and I'm just going to tell you this: as long as I know I can beat his ass, I'm going to lift in his meat. But I got to know I got to run over the top of him. He got me by 50 pounds in the Raw right now, but
that's epic.
I'm coming. I'm coming. He outweighed me by about 40 pounds.
It's all good, 4th of July, the peak of summer.
Yeah.
Man, it's all for a good cause, too. We're going to give a ton of money to the vet house. All good stuff, man.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Dr. Fritz, again, thank you for coming on. We will talk to you again soon. Can't wait to see you. And that's it, man. Fucking keep killing it. Metal Militia for life.
Billy, you need anything, get a hold of me. You know what's up, homie.
Love you guys.
Love you too,
man.
Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Fritz, most classiest guy you'll ever see in your life. That guy, if you look up the word class in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of Billy Fritz right next to it. That guy's a classy dude, man. I like that dude. I love him. I love that guy.
Yeah. All right, folks. That was Dr. Fritz. Always love talking to him. We're going to do the meet schedule now. Aaron, you got that slideshow ready?
Not quite.
Not quite? All right. You let me know. We're starting on April 3rd.
So I guess we could go back. Let's do this.
Michelle Fritz was talking him up awesomely.
All right. I don't think you should do that right now, Aaron. I don't know what craziness you're doing there, but
one that Kyle animated?
so we got Dave Barth says that's because Bill. All right, we got Will Condon, Bill. All right, never mind. It's all stupid. So both of you are competing. That's inspiring enough. Awesome, because both of us have had hurt injury or had bad hip injuries. Will Condon says, I say you're all jacked, pain meds, blah, blah, blah. No, hate them. Franz Adler's watching. Franz actually came on the show. That's so vast. I fucking love that dude. Danny Smith's watching. We got Ralph. Cold to Work, so fucking badass too. How bad? Kyle Hines, of course, our fucking vice president of the fucking whole shit. That dude's fucking badass. Ralph, yes, let's make it. Ralph, we are working diligently at making powerlifting fucking frightening again, where people are terrified. Michelle Fritz is awesome. I love her. She's fucking super cool. Sarah Watson.
There she is. She's watching.
Jared Mangle. Jared, hey man, send me a message. I want to talk to you privately about some stuff. Just cool shit. Because I think you're doing well and I want to talk to you. So that's badass. McKenna Edwards, super badass. Cool. Is that a call out? I like it. All good stuff. So what do you got, Buck?
Just the old meet schedule. We're going to run through it.
Let's go.
This can also be seen, metamilitiapowerlifting.com. Check us out, obviously, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. So, first meet we got, the next one up is out in Australia. It's going to be the first ever Meta Militia meet on Australian soil.
Listen, I actually have to say this. Can you fucking believe that the virus has spread?
Yeah.
First off, it's rolled right through Italy. They're fucking... Dude, they're crazy. Dude, the dude from Italy wants me to come out there, and he's, like, laying out the red carpet. Like, I might meet my fucking future wife there.
Right.
I'm serious, dude. This guy is killing it.
Right. No, they are. I always see his training videos, and he is killing it.
And then we just are rolling straight through to Australia. Now, Australia's got one chapter... But they're trying to do the Tasmanian chapter now.
Yeah, because they got a lot of dudes spread out through the whole big country.
You know, we in America, and we thinking, oh, Australia, you know, blah, blah, blah. Except, you know, where he is.
Yeah.
You know, all right, so you got, what do you got?
Chris? I thought you were asking me to help.
No, I'm asking you to help fucking topography, not fucking names. Jesus Christ,
he's
dude.
in Queensland.
You got Melbourne, you got Sydney, Tasmania. It's like driving from here to fucking Texas, bro.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the fucking world for them. So, like, you know, all right. Fucking Chris. No shit, dude. Talked to the guy last night. You're not helping.
So April 3rd.
Jesus Christ, dude. Chris.
Tormented
Thanks,
Force.
bud.
The first Australian chapter. They're going to be run to meet. First one ever. Meta Militia. Going to be great. It's a bench-only meet. Tormented Force. It's going to be in Brisbane. Chris Karupka's running it. So
is it Chris?
That's the one.
Jesus Christ, dude. Thank
April
God.
17th. Lawton, Oklahoma's Bloodlust Bench Massacre. Awesome name. Nomad and Texas chapter combining forces to run that. Get a hold of Barry and Becca. And then obviously the Nomad chapter president, Nick Saronis.
Here we
need
go.
some info on
Buck.
Damn. I missed ours. April 10th, my bad. April 10th.
Thick as hell.
We got the full Power Wars up here, Fort William Henry.
Hey, by the way, one quick announcement on the full Power Wars. I only want 50 lifters in this meet, so we're putting a 50 lifter cap on it, and I'm telling you, we got about 30 right now.
So
like
hurry up.
Right now, we have 30. So
hurry up.
I only want 50 lifters now. I'm not beginning. I might not take a hard line on it. but I really want to keep it as close to 50 as we can.
Absolutely.
And I know shit's popular and we're kicking it off right now, but if you're doing it, get your shit in quick and don't make me be a fucking villain, please. Thank you.
You heard it. May
The
15th.
whole box of cookies, the whole thing. There's 6 cookies left.
Yep.
And a small bite.
Killing it.
6 cookies and a small bite. Eat the whole
May
thing.
15th.
Eat the whole thing, Paulie.
May
The whole
15th.
fucking box,
The
Paulie.
Lone Star chapter down in Texas. Barry and Becca running that one. I believe that's going to be out in Odessa. Could be wrong, but they're running a meet May 15th. Get a hold of them. Or, like I said, MilitiaPowerlifting.com. May 22nd, we got the Steel Valley Meltdown. Obviously, the Steel Valley chapter running that. Get a hold of Matthew Hodge, who also is a great bass player. If you didn't see my post on Facebook,
That was fucking awesome.
go ahead and watch that. Him playing Kiss from a Rose, a Seal cover. Great. June 5th, the Central PA chapter. They got the Battleground Push-Pull competition. Chris Kitchen, Jesse Leitzel, lighting it up down there. Get a hold of them. Or again, MilitiaPowerlifting.com. Check that out also. June 13th, we got the Newcastle Rum Rebellion Cup Push-Pull out in Australia. Hunter Strength Performance. Again, Chris Garupa running that. Get a hold of them if you're going out there, or if you are in Australia, fucking do that meet. July 3rd.
We got Metal Militia Nationals, June 19th.
June 19th, Metal Militia
Melon like a
Nationals.
double wide surprise.
We got that. Kyle's running that. Whitehall Armory, June 19th. You got the sweet new poster up there. Get a hold of him.
Nice
MetalMilitiaPowerlifting.com. July 3rd, Benching for Heroes charity meet. We're going to be donating all the money to the Adirondack Vet House in Glens Falls, 100%, like I
Super
always say.
badass. Hang on a minute. We ain't done that one in a while.
No.
So, when you make a donation normally,
Yeah.
let's say you call up, I was going to say something really dumb and I stopped myself because I was going to go the UN, but
Yeah.
not doing that. So let's just say you make a donation to the United Cancer Society.
Okay.
So you send them $1,000.
Okay.
They have $800 worth of administration fees, $50 worth of personal fees. So that's $850. So $150 goes to the actual fund. $850 goes to some bullshit. But not in this case, ladies and gentlemen.
100%
100%
of the proceeds
goes to what, bud?
the Adirondack Vet House in Glens Falls.
Whoever's
fee-
working the camera right now, I need to fucking get. There we go. Thank you. Go ahead, kid.
No, he needs it on me.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm just
you're
saying.
good. So, as Bill was saying, 100% of the proceeds, it's going to be $80 per person. It's a bench-only meet. That $80, all of it, going to that Adirondack Vet House right here in Glens Falls, New York. They we tell you guys all the time what they do. If you're new, here's what they do. They house homeless veterans, help them get back on their feet. It's a great organization. Friends of yours are involved. You got Chris Barden, Bob Kellogg. They're on, they do the finances
They
and
do
stuff.
crazy shit, dude.
But we're looking to donate a lot of money to them. Last year we donated over $2,000, so that was badass.
Super
This year
bad-
we're gonna fucking beat it.
Super badass. I know I don't mean to blow Bobby Kellogg up, but
Why not?
I believe I might not be 100% accurate when I say this, but I actually know I'm 100% accurate when I say this. In December, Bob asked them what their total donations were for the year, and Bob beat that. We're just gonna.
We're gonna match that. And then
So you
we'll-
got 12 grand, not a problem. We're gonna fix that right now.
Not a big deal. We got
You know how Bobby rolls big. He's a high roller. It's
He
just
is.
how he is, man. Bob's something. He's a phenomenon. Something super special. Crazy dude, man. But I mean, and also a Navy pilot. Let's just
badass dude, man.
flew
Chinooks
and Sea Stallions.
So that's July 3rd. Not on July 4th exactly, because July 4th is a Sunday. We're having it Saturday, July 3rd. We're on a bench, hit big
Cooking
numbers.
food.
Yeah.
Lifting weights.
Heavy ass
Drinking
weights.
liquor.
Yes,
It's going to be a good day.
it really is.
And no matter what happens, we have a big tent. It's going to be a good fucking time. If it was a fucking severe thunderstorm, it's going to be a great fucking time.
It doesn't matter.
It's going to be awesome. And Young Buck's going to be there. He's going to be the to the fucking show. It's going to be such a good fucking time. I'm telling you. Suck.
And you always will. Every
Thank
time.
you, sir.
100% of the time.
100%.
This isn't
of the
fucking
time,
Sex
sir.
Panther. It's not 60% of the time all the time. It's 100% all the time.
You know what? Oh, I got to be honest with you. So, Isaac
Yeah.
at the gym.
Yep.
Chris Barden at the gym. Mm-hmm. Do you see the similarities where I'm going here?
Yes.
I'm talking about ex-military.
Yes.
You need to show up.
And put up.
And you need to put up. So show up.
And put up.
And put up. I don't care if you bench 225 raw.
Bench 1,020.
You bench 1,000. You show up. You pay your entry fee. And you got a chance to make a fucking statement.
You do.
You show up. You test yourself. And I can tell you something else, too. If you want to show up that way, we can show up that way. And if you want to show up another way, we'll meet you in the parking lot next door, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, and you're out. I guarantee it. Beat you down next door, wearing nothing but a smile. I'll be standing over you with a fig leaf and a pair of shorts. And Young Buck will tell you, you should have done your right justice duty.
Also,
So show up, make the donation, lift the weights. Don't embarrass yourself in front of your family, because I'm telling you, you don't want to fucking show up at this guy. Look at this. Show him the arm. Show him the size of the arm. Pull the back.
and a long sleeve
Pull the shirt
And a
back.
long sleeve shirt up.
Show him the
I can't,
size
it's
of the
too
arm.
big.
I'm telling you, I'll have Paulie come up here and headbutt. Paulie will kill you. He'll fucking headbutt you right in the parking lot, put you down, and be over with. Just like that. So don't show up. Man.
Also-
You ain't beat a man, you gotta beat the man, and brother, that's the man right there. Make the donation. Show up.
July
Let's see it.
7th. I also got
I get
Robert Red's
passionate about it.
invitation.
I get passionate about that contest. That's all.
So we're just going to cover that also. July 17th, Rob Farrell